you've been treating, 16 people who were injured in the Boston Marathon bombing attacks, 8 of whom were amputees?
Yeah. We actually have had our ninth amputee admission yesterday. So we've had a total of 19 admissions to the hospital, some with polytrauma, 9 of which are lower limb amputees.
Now, what's the first step in rehabilitation once a person becomes an amputee?
Well, the rehabilitation begins even before they arrive here at Spaulding Rehab. Number one, key to the success was that these individuals received early resuscitation actually at the marathon course. They were then brought to the local hospitals very quickly, and there were trauma teams ready and waiting to deliver, high quality care. It's a testament to the Boston medical community that once somebody actually arrived at the hospitals, nobody died as a result of the significant polytrauma.
That is significant. And I have to ask you, when there are traumas like this, how frequently does it lead to death as opposed to amputation?
Well, obviously, one of the major issues, do you have individuals that can deliver resuscitation at the scene? The transportation issue, obviously, you can get to a quality center and have definitive care quickly. Obviously, the chances at survival are significantly increased. And as it relates to rehab, if we can prevent early complications, then they can receive treatment in the acute care hospital and then come to rehab sooner in the best case, the best condition possible.
And what's been the age range of people you've treated?
The age range has been from 18 to 71.
Wow. And between 18 and 71, are there differences in how people respond to the news of being an amputee and how they rehabilitate from the moment they hear that news?
Yeah, I would say that obviously everybody's an individual. Obviously, the nature of the trauma, that's the only consistent thing involved. Everybody may have had significant medical issues prior. Obviously, somebody who is an older person may have had their same medical problems that they had. But the majority of our amputee patients were in their 20s to 30s and had no major medical problems. So that obviously puts them in a better condition to do better with rehabilitation once they arrive here to the rehab hospital. Right after the marathon, it was clear that due to the nature of the trauma, we would be seeing a high number of lower limb amputees. We have colleagues that work at the major teaching hospitals at Mass General and the Brigham. So I was in direct contact with them. They were able actually to see these patients while they're in the ICU and actually begin the education process, working with the surgical trauma teams, preparing them for what would come next once they arrive at the rehabilitation hospital. Once they were here, obviously, they are deemed surgically and medically able to participate in a more active program, and we continue with that education piece, and then we involve them directly in hands-on therapy, working with a physical therapist, the occupational therapy. Because of the blast injury, they also sustained not only hearing loss, but mild traumatic brain injury or concussion. So we also have a speech language pathologist evaluating each one of the marathon survivors.